everyone, and welcome back to another pick a card reading on my channel. So excited to be here, to be back. It has been a minute since I've done an upload. I think the last time I did one was back in June, which is crazy because it's now the end of November. We're looking at the end of the year. Cannot believe that this time has flown by, but had some things happen in my own personal life, some changes, some upgrades, which we're very excited about, mostly on the career front, that have taken up most of my time. So I do apologize for not uploading as I once had been, and I really hope that in 2025 I can really just, bump up the volume when it comes to posting tarot videos and maybe a few other fun things as well. So in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be taking a look at your current or whatever it is that you are currently manifesting. So we'll take a look at the energy surrounding that, as well as getting some insights. What will things feel like? What will things look like right before your manifestation comes in? And then also we'll take a look at the energy of how you'll feel, what things will look like right after your manifestation comes in. So all things manifesting today. Can't wait to dive right in. As usual, we have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 has the beautiful tree agate heart-shaped crystal. Pile 2 has blue aventurine. These heart-shaped crystals are so cute. And then pile 3 has the tiger's eye heart-shaped crystal. So go ahead, take a moment to reflect on the piles and pick the one that you feel the most drawn to. If you are in a position where you're like, hey, I'm drawn to multiple piles, that's fine. That's completely normal. We're here for that. What you're going to want to do is watch both of those piles. Maybe there's a message in both the piles for you. Maybe not everything resonates, but some things do. So completely normal if you're drawn to more than one pile. Don't think you're weird or that you're doing this wrong. It's really just meant to come from your own deep intuition. So again, dive deep within yourself, listen to that inner voice, and try and pick one pile or as many piles as you want that will help guide you in today's manifestation check-in. All right, we're going to go ahead and dive right in, and I'll see you over in your pile. Bye. Okay, what is up, pile 1? If you chose the tree agate crystal, then this is your reading today. Yeah, really excited to dive right in. I know for 2025, especially, if you're watching this when I'm uploading it, it'll be close to the beginning, if not the beginning of December 2024. So we're really looking into the next year. Of course, this is a timeless reading, so take that part as it resonates. But, as I'm currently looking into, next year and really thinking a lot about the future, I thought it would be fun to really just focus in on our manifestations. I know I have a lot that I'm trying to attract into my life for, my future, and especially in 2025, really, really big goals. So, I thought it would be fun, like I said, to just kind of dive right in. Let's get really our hands dirty and let's talk about our manifestations. So again, this is a timeless reading. It really doesn't have to do with the end of the year or the beginning of the year. If you're seeing this in the middle of a year, or in the middle of the summer, whatever that means for you, it's totally valid. So just wanted to point that out. But let's go ahead and get started. We have a few cards that we'll be diving into today. I'm gonna move your crystal to the side. So what I wanted to do was we'll eventually get into the energy that's going to be surrounding you right before your manifestation comes in. So I'm going to put those cards to the side because we're not going to start there. We're going to be taking a look to start at your manifestation. So what it is that you're currently manifesting, what it is that we're actually talking about today. This will help give you some clarity on if you maybe chose the right pile. And if you feel like after I get to this part, you're like, that actually does not resonate with me at all. Feel free to keep watching or feel free to pick another pile. That's totally normal as well. And then at the end of your reading, we're going to get into some cards that will go over what you're going to feel like, what things will look like after your manifestation comes in. So very exciting things happening here today on this channel. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into your manifestation. So I have around 5 tarot cards, and we're only looking at tarot today. I didn't pull or I didn't feel really drawn to any of my oracle decks. I have to admit, I kind of feel like I haven't been drawn to my oracle decks recently. Even when I've been doing my own tarot readings or just for like friends or family. Or like, like my boyfriend, I've been reading his cards a lot lately too, but I haven't really been drawn to my oracle deck. So either I need to get a new one or do some things energetically to feel refreshed when I look at those oracle decks. But today we're only looking at tarot. So let's get into your manifestation, and then we'll get into, like I said, the energy of what it's going to look like before your manifestation comes in, and then the energy of what it's going to look like or feel like after it comes in. So let's get started. Okay, start from the top. Okay, so you have the Three of Swords. You have the Three of Wands. 3-3 might be 3-3. If you've been seeing threes a lot lately, that could be, sort of like an angel number to pay attention to. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Already getting sort of like a couple messages here. You have the Four of Wands. And then the Ten of Cups. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so pile one. Something that I'm feeling for this group immediately is sort of like an end to, basically like an end to a difficult time. It's kind of like what I'm kind of feeling or picking up on. Like it's almost like the energy is that you are sort of like on the other side of this sort of like healing process that maybe you've been going through for the past couple of years. And I think that, like maybe you've even been trying to like manifest something into your life, meaning like a new relationship or, something that's like completely different than anything that you've ever experienced before. So whatever your sort of like white picket fence life looks like for you, it's almost like the energy is that like that's available for you if you want it, And I think that maybe you're someone who has had some really difficult times in the past or some difficult relationships in the past where that person that didn't work out didn't want the same things as you, if that makes sense. And so you've been sort of like, yeah, you've been like over that person or over those past relationships, but at the same time, kind of like waiting for that ship to come in, if that makes sense. Like you're waiting for that new person who really aligns with your values and what it is that you see for your future, like to come in. And while at the same time, like really reflecting on the reasons why you might feel that way. And I think maybe you're in a position now where you've done the work, you've done the healing, and you're sort of like looking back on those past relationships and saying, you know what? I've learned a lot about myself and I've learned a lot about what it is that I really need from someone, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with them, or like really sort of like putting in the work to like define that soulmate, kind of, if that makes sense. Oh, sorry, my phone is going off. Let me put it on mute. But yeah, I think that's really sort of like the energy here. Pile one is like immediately I'm getting like you've had a lot of like heartbreak in the past, or maybe there's a few people that you thought, maybe a few people or one person that you really thought was the one. It's just that you both couldn't align on certain core values. And I think that what is coming in for you or what you've been manifesting is really sort of like that new person. And I think the person that you'll end up spending the rest of your life with. Like, I don't think that you're someone who's just like manifesting a relationship. Like, I think you're really trying to like manifest, your soulmate in a sense. And I think that is totally, totally possible for you. So yeah, that's definitely like the first couple messages that I'm getting like right off the bat here. I do sense that for sure. And I think it's a lot of this like reflection and like understanding that like what it is that you want for your future. Again, however white picket fence or as unusual as it may be, there is somebody out there that's going to be aligned to that you're meant to be with, which is awesome. And I think, like I said, I think pile one, I think this is the group that's really sort of like manifesting or, within the next year or so, like really looking to step out of like the healing energy and more into the, okay, we're meeting someone, we're dating, this feels right, and you can almost start to like see the pavement or like the the driveway into your future together, or it just sort of feels aligned and right. And again, however that looks like for you. So I think that, again, I don't want to be another tarot card reader that's out here saying like your soulmate is out there, they're just around the corner, but like I'm not kidding. I think they are. And I do think that everything that you want out of your life is possible. And that the life partners that you've had in the past, while it may have been heartbreaking to watch them walk away, I think it's for the best because it taught you a lot about yourself. It taught you a lot about what it is that you want out of life. And it really is setting you up, I think, or it has set you up to really step foot in the right direction when it comes to bringing this manifestation, into fruition. We love this for you, pile one. Okay, let's take a look at what it's going to feel like. I'm just going to fix my microphone. Sorry. Okay, what is it going to look like, or what's going to be surrounding you? Just basically, like maybe this could even be like some signs from your spirit guides or just the universe of like things might feel this way or look this way right before your manifestation comes in, right? So let's take a look here. So we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Cups. And we have the World. Okay. So pile one, I think some of the energy that's going to be surrounding you, like right before this manifestation comes in, is that of feeling like a little bit distracted from the outside world. Like, and I'm not saying that because the World card is here, but I feel like for whatever reason, like the artwork. So just as a heads up, I'm using the before tarot. So it's meant to be like 1 second before traditional Rider-Waite tarot was taken. Like if you picture Rider-Waite tarot deck as a photograph, like what was happening like the second before that, just to kind of like give us an idea of like the energy before something happens in your life. So that's why I'm using this. And then for the after, I have the after tarot. So we'll get into that in a minute, but that's why the artwork looks a little bit different if you're wondering. But I feel like, getting back to your reading, that's why we're all here. I feel like a lot of the characters are almost like distracted from the outside world, right? So like in the Two of Pentacles, they're almost like reaching for like that stability, but there's all this like chaos happening like around them or behind them, but they're just so focused on like their own sort of like stability that it doesn't even matter. And then same thing with the Nine of Cups, like he's so busy, or she or whoever is so busy filling up their cups that they're not even realizing that there's two kids like watching that person fill the cups. And then same with this World card. I think what's interesting is that in this one, there's another person inside the wreath. And it's like they don't even care about the outside world. So I think right before your manifestation comes in, or right before this person comes in, or, again, like you're in control here. So however you're sort of like envisioning this or journaling it or, saying it out loud, like affirmations, whatever you're doing, I think you're going to feel a little bit reclusive isn't the right word, because these people, like, I feel you're going to feel like really, what is this energy that I'm feeling? Like, it's almost like so like internally like flighty. Like it's almost like you're like, oh, like whatever. Like, it's almost like dreamy, but like you're like focused on yourself. And it's honestly like just like the kind of like vibe that I'm feeling is like, because you're gonna be so focused on yourself, it's almost like you're like tying the ribbon on some like last minute like energy within you that is going to be necessary for this new person to come in. So it's like you're going to be doing a lot of like self-care, a lot of and it's going to happen like out of the blue almost. Like I don't think that you're going to watch this now and be like, okay, I'm going to do a facial and then my person's going to come in. I think you'll probably see this reading and like forget about it, and then in like 6 months or something, or 3 months or something, you're going to be like doing a lot of like things like self-care wise, like maybe even like staying in a lot more, like not going out with your friends for brunch as much, or like, like stuff like that, where you're just sort of like, no, like I'm going to stay home and like watch your favorite movie, or like stuff like that. Like it could even be like over the course of like 1 month, right? So you're just sort of like almost like internally, like, how do I want to say this? Like internally, like nesting, which feels silly, but it's almost like the self-care that you're going to be doing is, like I said, like energetically, like capping off some loose ends that are sort of like left over, and it's going to be necessary for this person to come in. So I think that's sort of like the vibe. And honestly, for you, it could be like, health and finance, doing whatever to fill your cup, like energetically. And then maybe sort of, like I said, like putting an end to like, maybe it's even like if you're like casually dating, like maybe even like putting the apps away, like just kind of, and I'm not saying like you have to do that in order for this person to come in, but it's sort of like putting like an energetic cap on things to really fill your cups so that this person can come in and like energetically you're vibrating on the same like energy, if that makes sense. I don't know if what I just said makes sense, but I sure hope it did. Basically it's like there's gonna be like a lot of like self-care, or like what some people would consider to be like selfishness, but it's not gonna be like in a facetious way. Like it's gonna be like, no, like I'm staying in tonight because like you feel like you need to. And it's gonna be like this like internal drive to be a little bit more self-focused, let's just say, which is cool. And then also I think sort of what I just kind of thought of is like two things that might be like a sign for you is if you're having like, well, I don't know if this is a sign or if this is just sort of like a message. Like, I guess it's sort of like saying like in your life, like don't forget about like friends and family too. Like still try, like while you're filling your cup, like, still make an effort to like call your family or like call your best friend, like text your friends, like whatever. Like I'm not saying like shut out the world, but like I do think that you will be more focused on filling your own cup than other people's. Or like not worrying about like other people's business or gossip or something like that. And then the other sort of like sign might be that you might be having some like weird dreams with like a lot of different animals in them. So yeah. Okay, let's get into, so let's pretend your manifestation happens. This happened. You're like, yay, I may have met my person. Like, what is it going to feel like after your manifestation comes in, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at your after tarot cards. So we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Five of Swords, which honestly kind of looks like the original Five of Swords. And we have the Devil. Interesting. I think what it's going to feel, this is kind of like more of like what it's going to feel like, is honestly like too good to be true. This is it, because you're so used to a different type of partner. It's kind of like what I'm feeling. Like it's almost like you were like, oh, like this feels really good and nurturing, and it might feel spicier than you maybe anticipated, or maybe like different. And that might cause a little bit of like, I don't want to say like external argumenting. Is argumenting. Oh my God. Is that even a word? I don't think that you'll be like fighting with this person, but I think there's going to be almost like this like internal conflict between this feels good and this feels different and this feels too good to be true. So you might do, or you might feel the need to self-sabotage, is just basically what I'm feeling, which is totally fine and normal. I'm not saying that because you self-sabotage that this person's not going to be in your life anymore. Like, no, I think this person's here to stay, but I think like in the beginning, it's going to feel a little bit internally chaotic because of how good it feels. And you're going to be like, when is the shoe going to drop? But I think that by looking at the like, when is the shoe going to drop energy is going to like hold you back in a sense. Like I said, I don't think this person is going to like disappear or anything, but I think there might be a little bit of like healing that this person brings into your life, which might be, again, like another moment of like self-reflection and like internal conflict, which is interesting. I usually don't get that from the Five of Swords. For some reason, I'm feeling like it's like an internal conflict. Like everyone else is like, yeah, okay, like we're not listening to you, but like in your head, you're like, no, like it feels good because of this. It feels good because of that. You know, like looking for thoughts to like rationalize why this feels so good, like almost like looking for the negative in why it feels so good. You know what I mean? But I think you'll be ready when this person comes in. I think there's just gonna be some really small, minor internal conflict. And I think honestly, the way out of that is to really communicate with this person. I think they're going to be an open and honest person. I think you'll have no problem communicating your fears, or even like, you know, a lot of like the heartbreak that you came from, which kind of like makes you a certain way. Like, I think you'll be able to really communicate with that person, but I think that'll be sort of like necessary. And I think like underneath all of that, like chronic overthinking or like internal conflict, is someone who is just really ready and like ready to polish their crown, or like, you know what I mean? Like almost like, like it's gonna feel good. Like you can almost like relax into your emotions, which is probably going to be a new feeling for you. Like it's almost like maybe in your past relationships you only had the physical part and not the emotional part, or vice versa. And so I think you'll have both, which is going to cause you some internal conflict, kind of like what I was saying. You're like, wait, this is like everything I ever wanted. Like, why am I like this? You know, but anyway, I think you're going to do great. And I think that, yeah, again, I think this person is out there for you. So keep doing you and keep manifesting and doing what you need to do to attract this manifestation into your life. Okay, pile one, those are all the messages I have for you today. I hope this reading helped. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, hey there, pile two. If you chose the blue adventuring crystal, this is your reading for you today. Welcome. It is really excited to be, really excited to be. I am really excited to be back. Can't believe I took this many months off from tarot, and especially from uploading. I'm just gonna fix my camera really quick. But I really wanted to hop on today. I said this in pile one. I'll probably say this in pile three as well. But, you know, if you're watching this video at the time that I'm uploading it, which is around December 2024, you know, I don't know about you, but I'm really taking a look now at 2025, you know, really thinking about what it is that I want to attract into my life in 2025, you know, what I want it to look like in the future. And so I thought it'd be fun to, you know, do a video, like let's dive into our manifestations and let's see what the energy is, you know, like let's really do it. So that's why we're here today. So yeah, if you chose the blue adventuring crystal, then this is your reading. So let me walk you through all the different cards that we're going to be taking a look at today. First, we're going to start off with some cards that are going to give us some insight into what it is that you're actually manifesting, you know, what it is that you're here for, right? So we'll take a look at your manifestation. This might be able to give you some insight into whether or not you chose the right pile. If you feel like this part does not resonate with you, feel free to keep watching. There might be some messages in all the other piles, or excuse me, in the other cards. You know, there might be a message in there for you, or feel free to pick another pile. So we'll be taking a look first at your manifestation, the energy, get some insights about what it is that you're trying to manifest. And then we'll take a look at, using the before tarot deck, we'll take a look at the energy, that, you know, the energy, like what things might look like, what things might feel like, right before your manifestation comes in. So I'm going to keep those cards over here. And then to close off your reading, we'll be taking a look at the after tarot deck. So this is going to give us some insight into what things will look like, what you might feel like, what the energy will be like, maybe some signs or synchronicities around what things will be after your manifestation comes in. So using only tarot today, I really have not been vibing with Oracle decks in the last couple of months. I don't know why. Like the ones that I have are great and awesome, but I'm like, maybe I need some new Oracle decks, you know? So we're not using Oracle today, but it is okay because we have some awesome tarot to take a look at. So let's take a look at your tarot. Like I said, this is going to be the energy that is speaking to the actual manifestation. So what is it that pile 2 is looking to manifest? So we have the High Priestess. One of my goals in 2025 is to get these videos straight, but I haven't been successful at it once. So I'm sorry if it's not straight. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and Temperance. Wow. Okay. What's interesting, pile 2, is I think, and again, I could be wrong, but I think that this is the pile that is really manifesting a lot in their career. And, you know, it could be even like you're manifesting like a promotion. You could be manifesting even just like a huge bonus, like in Christmas Vacation. Or, you know, just something that's like leveling up in your career. And I think pile 2, what's interesting is that you have a lot of these like grounded, you know, pentacle, like earth energy cards surrounded by some real like spiritual major arcana energy. So I think there's something that you sort of are being protected by the universe because this manifestation is like meant to come in and really level you up. So like I feel like maybe you've been putting in the work, you've been a really good teammate, you've been figuring things out, you've been really, really, you know, on the grind, we'll say. And it's almost like you're not getting that like reciprocated back. Like your effort going in isn't necessarily coming back to you, even though you may have been like manifesting or trying to do like practice around like law of attraction for like a while. Picturing somebody doing a lot of yoga and really like envisioning their life and sort of like the role specifically that they want to step into. And you've been like really, really working hard at it. And I think the universe is sort of, like I said, it has been sort of like protecting you, like really, really like any of the roles that maybe you thought that you wanted, like, right? Like I'm picturing somebody like at a job and then they keep applying for like internal roles that are like one level up above them, but they keep not getting it. But it's not because like of their work ethic or that they're not, you know, it's not like, oh, we didn't consider you because you're a terrible worker. Like, we just don't think you're right for the job. It's like this weird vibe where it's like you should have gotten that role because, and it doesn't make sense, right? So it's like I almost picture you like venting about how it doesn't even make sense that you didn't even get the role because you're so perfect for it. All those times and all those like rejections have been protections, rejection, protection from the universe or from your spirit guides or your angel team. And I think it's because you weren't necessarily ready for them spiritually at the time. And then also there's something else that you're meant to do. And I don't mean like something else like another career. I mean like there's another role better suited for you and what it is that you want out of life. So like I'm picturing somebody who maybe was like really striving for, you know, like a director, like senior director, maybe like a vice president level role, something like that. Huge, right? It could even be just like a senior manager or manager to senior manager, whatever the levels up are. I'm picturing you like really like grinding towards that. Keep applying for that. Keep getting rejected for it. But then at the same time, really developing like almost like a passion for work-life balance. So like instead of like working hard by yourself, like it's almost like bringing in other people's perspectives. Maybe becoming a leader who leads from the back, not necessarily the front. Like it's like all these things and all these rejections have like almost like leveled you up in a sense because you maybe started like delegating more tasks to other people instead of doing it yourself. And it's leveled you up to the point where you have like a little bit more like work-life balance in your life. Like there's almost like this like balancing act that's been sort of like happening with each quote unquote rejection. So if that's been happening to you, or if you're sort of like looking for a career change, or like I said, it feels like a leveling up, honestly. And while in the physical sense, you haven't been leveled up, you haven't been getting those positions, in the spiritual sense, you have been leveling up. Like you have been learning the lessons of what it takes to be a really successful leader. So if that makes sense to you, then you are in the right place. But I think genuinely speaking, I think that's what it is. I think it's this idea of like you working really, really hard, but then also bringing in more balance into your life. It could even be like a balance of like your spiritual life. Like maybe you're somebody who's really, really spiritual, but then also really work guided. So you're somebody who really, relies on their career, and you're like really like career driven. And maybe you're somebody who like only focused on their career, but then also found it difficult to balance like their spirituality and their friendships and like all these other things but over the years, or maybe over the course of however long this resonates for you, you're like, it just makes sense. Like I should be getting these roles, but they're not coming in. Like I said, I think it's divine protection so that you learned the lessons to bring more balance in, perhaps even learn how to lead a team, to delegate tasks, things like that. And then also maybe it's like not only like delegate tasks to other people, but like lead from the back. Like your success is dependent on their success. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like what I'm feeling. And ultimately it's making you a better leader. I can't breathe. Whew, I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, let me take a sip of coffee because I'm insane. Okay, let's take a look now at the energy before your manifestation comes in. So, pile 2, I do think that this leveling up energy is there for you. I just think that it's being protected right now by the universe, your spirit team, whatever resonates for you for very specific reasons. So, let's see some cards and some energy. Let's take a look at what it's going to feel like or what's going to happen right before your manifestation comes in. Okay, so we have the 2 of Cups. We have the 10 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords. Okay. So I wonder, pile 2, if this balance that we're kind of talking about, like work-life balance, right? If it's almost like balancing someone else in your life that maybe you recently walked away from because you felt like they were distracting you from your career, but now you're kind of in a position of regret, or maybe this is going to happen like right before your manifestation comes in, is like I really see you in a place of like regret. I hate to say that because pile 2, I'm rooting for you. But yeah, I feel like it's this like vibe of like you meeting someone, but ultimately deciding to like walk away from them because you're like, no, I am so focused on my career right now. So maybe if you find yourself in that position, take that as sort of like a sign that your manifestation might be coming in for you soon. Like that role might be coming in for you soon. And it's possible that, or if it's like right before you like meet someone that like forces you into this work-life balance, right? Like you might meet someone who isn't as career driven, but they're still a driven person. That's not what I'm saying. It's just they bring a little bit more flexibility and like light into your life. And that causes you to almost like overthink and like feel like it's the end of the world because you've been so heads down and focused on your career that like this light coming into your vibe just feels like disruptive. even though it feels really good. Either way, I think there's something to do with like somebody else in your life showing you what balance looks like, or like what an alternative lifestyle could look like. Like it's almost like you're looking at their sort of like success and being like, well, how are you so successful? Like with all your kids and all your trips to Paris, like how are you doing this? How are you maintaining that balance? And it's like they sort of like teach you about balance in life, like it's not just about having that like career. Like I heard a quote recently that was like ambition with contentment. So it's like being ambitious and working towards your goal, or in this case, like your career, but then also maintaining relationships and maintaining friendships, and having that balance is so key to your actual success. So I think that's sort of like if you feel like you're learning a lesson of balance, which causes you to like almost like overthink it. I think that's how you'll know that your manifestation is coming in, for sure. All right, let's take a look at the energy that is going to be surrounding you after your manifestation comes in, right? So before your manifestation comes in, we're sort of like meeting people, or maybe even walking away from people who have a completely alternative lifestyle than we are used to, but it's teaching us a lot about balance. And walking away from them might feel very painful, because it almost feels like painful to walk back into like your old life, like once they have like entered your life, if that makes sense. But like you're still thinking about that career, and you're still like overthinking, like, how am I going to get there now with this alternative lifestyle? It's okay. Because once your manifestation comes in, like I said, that career, that position is available to you, and you will be able to do it and maintain it. You have the Nine of Cups. You have the Three of Swords. And you have the Chariot. I think that, after your manifestation comes in, you are going to be almost like a different person. Like at work, I see you being able to like have fun at the holiday party, like really, your cup is full. You've learned a lot of lessons. You've healed from the past. You've almost healed from yourself. It's kind of like what I'm hearing. Like it's almost like you put away the swords that were like making you overthink, or like put down the swords of like sabotaging that person who came in that taught you to be flexible, that taught you this alternative lifestyle, who taught you work-life balance. Like you've learned, and you sort of like softened your edges a bit. And I see you again really stepping into that leadership role and being fearless when it comes to making decisions, delegating tasks, being someone who leads from a place of like humility, and being like a people leader, like being kind to people. And I think it's because like if you got those higher up positions before that lesson of being open to balance, I think you would have been a successful leader, but I don't know that you would have been the best leader, if that makes sense. This feels like so like judgmental, but I'm not being judgy, or trying not to be. But yeah, I think genuinely speaking, I think like after your manifestation comes in, and after you've leveled up in that career, like I said, there's like one special career or one special position that you have been sort of like protected from the universe so that you get, you know what I mean? Like if you were in those other roles that you applied for, you would never have gone for this position, and you were meant to. And you're also meant to learn the lessons of work-life balance, maybe even like adopting an alternative lifestyle, or, like I said, like I picture someone like doing yoga. So like maybe you're someone who's like, yeah, like I'm really career driven in this like one specific area, and it feels like so inflexible to like also, do yoga 5 days a week, and have a boyfriend, and still like do well in my career. Like, how am I going to balance this all? And I think this person coming in, whether they're a new romantic partner or just a friend or like a mentor, is going to like show you what it's like to be able to like live a very successful, content life while also maintaining that ambition. And ultimately, it's going to lead to your success in that higher up position that you're looking for. So, pile 2, very exciting things. Comment if this video resonated. I hope that it did. And yeah, I think those are all the messages I have for you, pile 2. So, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, what's up, pile 3? Welcome to your reading. Yeah, I said this in the last 2 piles, but genuinely, I'm so excited to be back. I really don't know. I spent the last couple of months like super just focused on my own sort of like career, and ended up getting a new job, like switching companies. I had some amazing things that happened actually in the job that I left, promotion wise. Like there was a lot just sort of like energetically happening to me that I didn't feel like I could commit to or really dedicate time to readings. So now that things have calmed down a bit, I'm starting to settle into my new role. And at the new company, I just, really wanted to come back on. And, if you're watching this video at the time that I'm uploading it, which you don't have to for it to resonate, it is a timeless video. So I want to make sure that I reiterate that. But if you're watching it at the time that I'm uploading it around like December 2024, like for me right now, like looking toward the end of this year, looking and reflecting back on the things that I brought into my life, the things that I'd like to work on, and even the things that I'd like to bring into my life or attract into my life in 2025. And some of the goals that I have there are pretty big and significant. And I've been doing a lot of my own, I'm just going to fix the camera quickly. I've been doing a lot of my own readings around, my own manifestation. So I thought it'd be fun to do a more general reading, just because I feel like if I'm currently looking and thinking about what it is that I'd like to visualize for 2025, or whatever current year you're watching this, then other people do as well. So that's why we're here. So we're talking all things about manifestation today, which is awesome. If you chose the Tiger's Eye crystal, then this is your reading. So let me walk you through the cards and how this reading is going to go. I'm not using any oracle cards today. I said this in the last 2 piles, so if this is a repeat information thing, I'm very sorry, but I just have not been vibing with my oracle cards. Like, I don't know what it is. I think I need to get some new ones. So let me walk you through, like I said, the structure of the reading today. So we have 3 piles. The first one that I'm going to walk through is all about what it is that we're talking about today, right? So like, what is it that pile 3 is manifesting? The energy around it, maybe some insights into what led you into this manifestation, just thinking back to the last 2 piles, and what it is that you're actually trying to manifest. And then we'll get into some cards that are going to surround, that are going to take a look at the energy surrounding what's going to happen in your life, or maybe some signs, synchronicities, maybe what you'll feel like, what things will look like right before your manifestation comes in with the Before Tarot deck. And then subsequently, we'll be taking a look at a few cards that'll give us some insight into the energy after your manifestation comes in. So we're looking at the after energy using the Before and After Tarot deck, which is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're going to start by taking a look at your manifestation. So what is it that pile 3 is trying to manifest? We have the Ace of Wands. One thing jokingly that I'm trying to manifest, one of my goals for next year, or soon hopefully, is to get my piles straight on camera. I guarantee you when I'm going to be editing this, everything's going to be crooked and I'm going to be so mad. But you have the Ace of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, you have Judgment, and the Chariot. Wow, some big changes. Okay. So out of all of the piles, I think this is the one who's really manifesting not like a specific thing, or you might be, but I think maybe what sort of like drew you into this reading was more about like someone who is like manifesting something a little bit more high level, like show me clarity of what it is that I need in my life, like something like that. You know what I mean? It's possible that you are sort of just like overall looking for a positive shift to happen, and maybe even like a spiritual rebirth that'll help sort of like guide you in the right direction. It's sort of like the energy that I'm feeling. So it's almost like I said, like someone who is really sort of looking to attract clarity, or show, it's almost like you're saying to the universe, like, show me success, or show me what it feels like to feel success, and stuff like that. Like, it's not like you're saying like, I want to be successful in like a lawnmower business or whatever, but like it's not like a specific thing. It's not like a specific, like, I'm attracting my soulmate. It's really higher level and almost like deeper than that. Like, it's almost like you're manifesting just an overall more positive shift in your timeline. And I think you're almost craving that divine inspiration and success of that inspiration. So it's almost like you're looking for the universe to like almost like give you an idea of what it could mean to be successful in any area of your life. I just got the sort of vibe, though, that some of you might be manifesting like a new start in a new country. I don't necessarily have any traditional tarot indicators of why I'm thinking that. But I do feel like there's almost like this like fresh start energy, right? But you're waiting, or you're hoping that the universe will almost like plant the seed for you, which is totally fine. And you're kind of wondering like, how can I get myself energetically in that space so that you can like energetically step into that next chapter, step into that fresh energy, step into, hey, if it is you moving overseas, maybe it's show me the way, like, I don't see you being like so narrowed in on the manifestation or what it is you're trying to attract. It's almost like this like higher level, show me universe, I trust in you energy, which is really great. And honestly, I think where everyone needs to be when they are manifesting. Excuse me, my microphone is so weird. Oh, okay. Like, this is where you want to be, right? So I think that's sort of like your energy. And I think that you're sort of like the group that's so spiritual already that like I think the universe is like, yeah, babe, like we got you. Like, it's almost like it's coming in like little nuggets. It could be coming like in your dreams, and like, you picture yourself like, this is my true like visualized manifestors. Like, that's how I manifest, is by like visualizing it. I don't necessarily believe in the like, so it is said out loud, so it is done. Like, I feel like that's kind of toxic. I'm sorry if you manifest that way. Not for me. But I think you are also like a visual manifester. So it's like you can almost like feel the energy, which is why you sort of like take the position of like, universe, show me the way to be successful. Show me the way so that I can rebirth myself into this new energy. It's almost like you're really, really relying on the universe to really bring that to you, and ultimately deciding what it is that your soul wants versus, your ego or whatever. I think pile 3, this is really beautiful and really spiritual. I'm really, really excited for you. And I do think that because of this, and because of the more spiritual steps that you've decided to take in bringing this in, it's really going to work for you. I think maybe, did I say the world before, or the Wheel of Fortune? I meant the Wheel of Fortune. If I pulled these out and I said the world, I'm very sorry. I meant the Wheel of Fortune. Obviously, we can all read. Well, and I'm kind of like feeling that big picture, like universe vibe from this group because of the amount of major arcana coming in. And I think maybe you're someone who has tried to manifest in all these different ways, or being very specific, or being so attached to the thing that you're trying to attract into your life that it hasn't worked. So it's almost like you got to a place where you're like, you know what? I'm going to take the more spiritual approach, and I'm going to allow the universe to bring me what is best for my highest good. Like that's kind of like where you're at. Like you may have even like had success in the past too. Like I'm not saying like in the way that you manifest in the past, like it wasn't successful, like it could have been. But now you're in such a good place where you're like, you know what? I have just a feeling that the universe is going to bring me what it is that I need to level up even more. But I feel like that leveling up is more spiritual and less ego and like earthbound, if that makes any sense. Either way though, pile three, I think this is absolutely beautiful and I'm so excited for you because I do think that that's going to be coming in for you pretty quickly, if I'm being honest. And I do think that you're going to feel just like absolutely on top of the world. You're going to be so happy that you took this route. So if you're sort of like, again, like if you're someone who is used to doing like practice around law of attraction in a certain way, or you're used to manifesting in a certain way, and now you're trying something new, please take this as your message that something new is working for you, and it's going to come in very quickly if you continue to maintain that practice, that new practice. Not to say that there's anything wrong with your past one, but I think this is for what it is that you're looking to do. I think the way that you're currently doing things this is a sign that you're going to be successful, and the universe is going to come in and gift you with this like rebirth in a sense, and really help guide you into the direction that you're meant to go. So if you're looking for that, and my clock just said 11:11. I love this. If you're looking for that, babe, it's on its way. So let's take a look at the energy that's going to be surrounding you, or what things might look like around you right before your manifestation comes in. So we have strength. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the Three of Wands. This is really cool. I see a lot of almost like, I don't want to say like pent up energy, but it's almost like this like, oh my God, I'm so excited energy, and having to like maintain the inner beast. I almost feel like because of that though, you might feel like extra excited and maybe not even like willing to like wait for the manifestation come in. So like there might be some feelings around self-sabotage, which again, like I hate to say, where maybe you'll go back to like your old ways or like whatever, or like abandon your spiritual practice, like whatever it is that you're currently doing. You might have those urges to do that because the energy is going to be so magnetic and strong that it's going to be driving up all this energy and excitement and like within you, that I think it's going to be a little bit harder to like tame that. But I think like with the strength card, and I think that is sort of going to be your sort of guiding principle of remain calm, like those like signs or whatever. It's like, remain calm. Your manifestation is on its way. Yeah, I think pile three, you guys are going to be like chomping at the bit. But I think what is really going to help you is maintaining some levels of peace and tranquility and trying to tame that beast. You might even feel a bit like tested or like frustrated in a sense. I'm not so much getting that from the Four of Wands, but I feel this like vibe of like being a little bit irritable of like, because of all this energy that you have, like this all this like surge of energy that you have, like I feel like a smidge of irritability, which is going to be unusual for you. So like if you feel like you're in a place where a lot of noise is irritating you, or even like I'm thinking like a lot of creative thoughts, but it's like you don't know how to like creatively execute them, and that's causing you some frustration. Like there's gonna be sort of like this like I'm getting the visualization of like, like horses before they like are like let loose like on a racetrack, and they're sort of like chomping at the bit, like ready to go. Like you're waiting for that gate to open, which is your manifestation coming in, and you're sort of like like ready and raring to go, and that's sort of like the energy that I feel. But I think if you could, in this weird example, be the jockey and try and, maintain some stability with that energy horse, I think that will be sort of your what will help keep you sane in this period, because it's going to feel very, very energetic. And I think that energy that you're feeling and that surge is the shift. Because this is coming from such a divine place, it's going to feel a little bit overwhelming. And I think that's going to be your sign. So like when things start to feel like that, like rely on your inner strength, rely on your strength card and the fact that like whatever is meant for you will be for you. So like try not to sabotage it. And I think ultimately it's like the excitement around like what your life is going to feel and look like is going to be what is going to cause you some frustration, because you're like, oh my God, it's almost here. I can feel it, but it's not here. So you're almost like waiting and like chomping at the bit. But again, relying on your inner peace and that strength is going to be super, super helpful in this time, like right before your manifestation comes in. So let's pretend your manifestation came in. Yay, we're so happy, we're so excited. What is the energy going to look like after it comes in? And this is using the after tarot. This is the before tarot and this is the after tarot. So if you're wondering why the depictions on the cards look a little bit different, that's why. It's meant to be like 1 second before the traditional Rider-Waite, and then this is 1 second after. So like imagine that they're like photographs in a sense. It's actually it's a cool concept. I'm still getting used to it. Okay, so let's take a look at the energy after your manifestation comes in. So we have the Two of Wands. Wow. The Seven of Cups. And the 10 of Wands. I don't know why I said that so confused. Okay, so after your manifestation comes in, because I think there's a lot about like asking the universe for some direction here. I think what it's going to feel like is you being able to like feel confident in your decision in like one area, right? Like remember before I said like it felt like you were like almost like letting the universe decide for you. Like you sort of been like gifted like that decision. And at the same time, I think it might feel a little bit overwhelming to do it yourself. It's like whatever this is. And I think there's going to be so much energy and learning for you that like, it might be helpful to like really share that with somebody else. So like maybe it's sharing this practice with, your partner, your significant other, or your best friend, like just really like sharing your learnings in this process with somebody else is really going to help offload the overwhelming amount of energy that you're going to have coming out of it. Because if not, you might find yourself like unable to like maintain this yourself. It's kind of like what I'm feeling. So this isn't meant to scare you by any means. I think this is completely awesome. But I think that it's like staying true to like that decision and really sharing that with someone, I think is going to really feel really, really good, especially as this sort of like leveling up comes in. You might feel a little bit different, but in a good way, because this is like what you needed. This is what you needed out of life. This is a decision that you made. And ultimately the decision of the universe, it's helping guide you there, because life can be super overwhelming. And I think your relationships are going to benefit from it. It's almost like this decision is going to be beneficial for not just you, but a lot of other people in your life and in the future as well. It might even help your significant other or your partner or your best friend or whatever, like the other people in your life, help understand your vision for the future, because before it may have felt a little bit overwhelming. So Pile 3, this is awesome. I love the spiritual journey that you are on. I really hope this reading resonated. Please comment, like, or subscribe if it did. And yeah, I think Pile 3, these are all the messages I have for you today. So good luck with your manifestation. I'm so excited for the things that are coming your way. And stay tuned for more videos. I'm really excited and hopeful that I'll be posting some more into 2025. So thanks, Pile 3, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.